Hi there, and here we are again. Quick update. I've been gone for a while. I just got home today. I wanted to take this short video on showing you guys what I've been doing lately, and then move on to the next step. So I can't wait to get going. So here we go. This is what I've been doing lately. I was stuck with the electrical system. I know I posted a couple of pictures on the forum, actually questions regarding the gauges and the new starter switch, the new gauges that we have here with the you get lights integrated here. So the whole cluster, it used to be those big gauges that I had, original ones with the center in between the two gauges. We have the lights. So it was a big cluster of the instruments, and I wanted to clean it up. So that's all we have now. And then the last one was changing the light switch on this side. The original one used to be a big clunky piece of plastic, so I wanted something more with a lower profile, and so this is what it looks like. Another thing that I added, I did find the new brake lever with the detached reservoir, which I love. Now I just need to connect it. But that's it. So it's a little cleaner look up on top, and finally I got all the wiring done. But here we go. Got the backlight when it comes on. Backlight on both gauges. I got all the lights here. I got the neutral light, and it's working. Oil pressure, and this was the one that was giving me trouble, the single turn signal indicator. I used to have two, and I have only one, so I ended up, long story short, I had to put two diodes on the connection coming from the bike to the single wire coming out here, because every time I turn it, I had selected the turn signals. Either way, I'll get all four flashing. So I got around that problem with diodes, and it worked. So now we have now this switch has the off position, which I didn't have before, and with the starter switch here I had to bypass a circuit. So I was gonna have the low beam, the headlight on while starting, but this switch came with the off selection. So I leave it on off. I can start the bike, and then we select to low and high beam, and I get two little blue lights, one here and the one on the indicator here, and then the turn signals. And they're working now. These are the new turn signals that we have. Little cat eyes, very small but actually quite bright. And then on the other side, and these ones up front, they're just hanging loose right now. I haven't figured out where to put them. The horn and everything else works, so I'm actually super happy with the result. Wrong way. There you go. I need to figure out here the wiring. It's a mess right now. I did put a new 8-pin connector, but I think it's too big, so I'm gonna have to take it out and put single connectors because I don't have enough room here. But here are the front ones. I don't know if I'm gonna put them up here or maybe a little lower. As I said, the new brake lever with the reservoir. I love the setup, and obviously changing this lever, I changed the clutch lever as well, brand new. thing that we did was painting the forks. Shiny black. Actually came out really well. And one of the last jobs I had was I did rebuild the caliper. It was a mess. Everything was had to be changed. All the rubber parts, even the piston was pitted. So I changed the whole thing. Actually changed everything that was, all the inside parts, and I decided to paint it red. Also, I think the red caliper is hanging on the black fork. It looks pretty bitchy. That's it. Right now, I took the cover, the valve cover off, because I'm gonna measure the shims. I already did a quick measurement, and I noticed there are a number of them that are out of spec already. So I don't know if I took the wrong measurements last time or something happened and things got out of whack. So I'll be doing that, which I think that's the main problem that I have right now. And I'm waiting for a tail light. Alright, so getting the kind of a cat eye brake and running light. But I'm looking at, I don't know if I want to hang it from here, like a bracket to hang it from here, or up here might look a little silly, so I might cut this whole thing further back and put it. I need to figure it out. What else? I did find some aftermarket slip-on mufflers, which I think might work, since the problem with these guys are up here. Here's where we got rusted. So maybe I think the slip-ons, they connect up front here on the header, and it's only just one. They're two into one. Is that what it's called? Yeah, 2 into 1. And they look pretty cool too. That's it. So the front end is kind of done. Working on the shims, and now that the weather is warming up again, and I have actually a working shed that I can get some heat on. Here's the what I'm working on right now. I don't know if you've seen the questions that I've had with the wrinkles that I got here on the paint. So I'm gonna scrape the paint off again. Because I got this guy. You can see it. So I'm gonna take it all off. That was kind of the paint scheme that I want to go for, but I don't like the way it came out, and I have to do a little too many touch-ups. I'm gonna start from scratch, take the whole thing off, and I might do 2 stripes, like that. Silver, a little thicker silver here in the middle, and the red in between, and the black in between back here. Similar scheme on the front fender. So I'm putting the base coat there, and this is what I got on the mail today. There you go. Low angle Clubman bars. So I want to try them. If they will work. I think they're gonna work on the bike just fine. And these ones are wider than here. And that's the way that's what I want it, because the tank, it's wider than normal, so I want to have enough clearance. So that's it. Quick update, and really excited what the bike's looking like right now, and I'll get on it and keep working and connect the brake and fill that up, and yeah, the wires behind the headlights, and keep going. Right, we'll see you guys later. Talk to you later. Bye bye.